Well, for more on the third mysterious object, let's go right to NBC's Monica Alba at the White House for us. Monica, welcome on this Sunday. So what does the White House really know about the last two objects, and what is left unsaid about them?
That is the major question at this hour, Alex. When we're talking about the one that was shot down over Alaskan waters on Friday, the fact is the terrain there is so treacherous that the recovery efforts we're learning are going to be incredibly complicated, and it really could take days because these personnel, which is coming from a combination of the Alaska National Guard, FBI, local law enforcement, they really have to traverse ice and snow to recover pieces of it. And remember what we're talking about here when we discuss this Friday object, which again, we still don't know very much about its origin, its size, its stated purpose. All of those questions remain unanswered as of right now. But what we do know is that it is much smaller compared to the Chinese spy balloon, which was shot down last weekend. So those smaller pieces may be a little harder to get. And then we will wait to hear from the Pentagon on what more they can tell us or what story it might show. But then this other huge news yesterday really came as a surprise, and we learned about it first from the Canadian side, even though these were U.S. fighter jets that were scrambled to now shoot down this other unidentified object that went down over the sparsely occupied Yukon. That's northern Canada. Now, this happened when the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, called President Biden. They coordinated on all of this Saturday afternoon. I'm told the president was first briefed on this Friday afternoon and was continually getting updates, and both militaries assessed that it should be taken down. Now, again, we don't have very many details about that object from U.S. officials, but Canadian Defense Minister did say last night that it was cylindrical in shape and, again, smaller than the Chinese spy balloon. But we don't know yet where this object came from. And then adding to all of it, this question about what potentially may have happened over Montana last night, where the airspace was closed for a period of time by the FAA as the Department of Defense conducted some activities there to see if there was something. Ultimately, though, saying it was a radar anomaly, though they are still investigating a little bit more. So that's leading a lot of lawmakers now to have questions, including some Democrats who are wondering why the Biden administration hasn't been more transparent to this point. Take a listen.
I have real concerns about why the administration is not being more forthcoming with everything that it knows. But part of the problem here is that both of the second and the third objects were shot down in very remote areas. So my guess is that there's just not a lot of information out there yet to share. In an absence of information, people will fill that gap with anxiety and other stuff. So I wish the administration was a little quicker to tell us everything that they do know.
So there will be a little more pressure, of course, on Pentagon and White House officials to reveal what they know. But the big question right now, Alex, is do they actually have that information, or will the recovery effort be a big part of this story so that then they can provide more details to the public?